So it's a very difficult time, as you can imagine, but to be clear, nothing terrible has been decided. Unfortunately, I tend to be, I don't know if you'd say a pessimistic person, but probably, well, yeah, I guess I am a little bit of a pessimistic, not a pessimistic person, but I tend to look at all the possible outcomes, and I can't help but dwelling on some of the, darker ones that could happen. So I would like to share this experience with you in hopes that it might help you as a French Bulldog parent or just a dog parent in general with some of the information that we have managed to gather during this process. So first of all, when you're dealing with something like this, I can't emphasize this enough. If you discover anything that feels like a lump, if it's suspicious, you should act immediately. The 2 veterinarians that we've met so far were both quite emphatic about the urgency of the situation, the need to get going on the testing. Tomorrow, we are going to take a CT scan, or we're going to have her take a CT scan. So that's very worrisome because, of course, that involves anesthesia. And so that's already the first scary stage. Hopefully everything will be okay. We expect everything to be okay after that, but then we'll be able to get some more information. And so if you find yourself in this situation, it's important that you act quickly, get your companion animal to the veterinarian as quickly as possible so that it can be examined professionally. And of course, if there is something, if there's a malignancy, then you can deal with it as promptly as possible. Some questions that you need to ask if you find yourself in this situation is about the tumor grade. And so there are going to be 3 possible grades. Hopefully in the next week we will find, or maybe in the next 2 weeks, frankly, we'll find that there's a grade 1, which would be obviously the better grade, and then grade 3, which would be the more worrisome, the more likely to metastasize and spread. The other is stage, and we will likely find out the stage, or at least we'll get a preliminary report on the stage tomorrow after the CT scan. Her primary veterinarian will take a look at the CT results the same day and give us an assessment. After that, it will need to be mailed off for some additional detail and in order to plan the surgery effectively. It's only after the surgery that we'll be able to find out the grade of the tumor, that whether it's grade 1, 2, or 3. Only after the surgery is completed can we find out the grade, because then the tumor will be removed, or at least as much of it will be removed, and it will be sent off to a lab where it will be sent off to a lab. Oh, here you go. How about this one? There you go. It will be sent off to a lab where it will be analyzed for the exact cells and the exact nature of the tumor, and hopefully we get some good news. After that, obviously, it will come down to how successfully the tumor was removed. I'm not sure if there will be a follow-up CT scan or exactly what's going to take place, but there is a very likely possibility. Okay, there you go. It's a strong likelihood that there may be some radiation involved, radiation therapy, to make sure to eliminate any remaining cancer cells. So at this stage, and I should use that, actually, I should be careful with that word because obviously we're talking about a different kind of stage. At this point, I should say, at this point, we don't know exactly, what's the likely outcome. We've read some very difficult news online, and I urge you to be careful as you do your research. That'd be another thing that I would strongly recommend, is that you do your own research so that you can have an informed conversation with your medical team. It's good to know the terminology, the things that I talked about, to know all the information so that you can have a very efficient conversation with your veterinary team and give your companion animal the best chance at success as possible. As I said, being informed is very important so that you can have that conversation, and I strongly recommend that you look at some good sources. For me, I've been using the VCA website, which has some very good information. It seems it's a very well organized site, seems very reliable. In addition, we use some of the university websites. University veterinary departments have websites, sometimes databases. For example, the North Carolina Veterinary School had a very good website and some very good information about these particular cancers, and they give us some useful tips or some useful information about things like prognosis. Okay, come here, there you go. They give us some very useful information about the prognosis about each particular grade of tumor, for example, and the stage. So these are important things that you need to know, and that you can make an informed decision, obviously, when you're presented with the facts from things like the CT scans, ultrasounds, and biopsies. Anyhow, as I said, this is a very impromptu video. I'm, as you can tell, completely disheveled. I'm preparing to feed quickly because she has to have her meal early, and that she obviously, and so come here. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to see you, so that she can, of course, be ready for the anesthesia tomorrow. This is also very important. Of course, your medical team would tell you that. Of course, if you're getting a CT scan, you're going to have anesthesia administered to your dog so that it can lie still long enough to perform the scans, which is supposed to be about 10 minutes. It's very short, obviously. It's a very short procedure, but it's still scary when you deal with anesthesia. Anesthesia is obviously always scary. If you're a pet parent, you perhaps have heard some of the horror stories from the past. I've sadly experienced them from long ago, from basically when I was in high school and college time, when my parents were the ones taking care of our pets, and we've had a couple very sad incidents. Fortunately, we've been reassured that times have changed. Modern veterinary medicine makes anesthesia much safer for dogs today, so this is something that's reassuring, but nevertheless, anesthesia, even for humans, can be dangerous, so it's certainly worrisome. And perhaps I won't need this video. Perhaps I will just re-record it. Perhaps I'll just re-record it with a little bit more information. I'll comb my hair. I'll make sure that I'm actually on camera, and we have some more information for you on, at least, hello, the stage of cancer diagnosis. Hello, okay? I think she wants me to turn off the video. She's ready to eat. So let's hope for the best. At this point, anything is possible. We have good reason to think that this is the kind of tumor that can be effectively treated. We're in for a rough period, all of us, but hopefully everything's going to be okay. So thank you guys for watching, and of course, please feel free to leave any comments below if you have questions. I'll do my best to answer them based on our experiences. I'm not sure how quickly I'll be responding. Obviously, it's a very chaotic time, but thank you guys for watching, and take care out there to all the pet parents and all the little pets themselves, and let's all wish this precious little girl the best outcome possible with this current situation. Take care, everyone. Say goodnight. There you go. Say goodnight. There we go.